This is Rock On Racing, bringing you President's Cup preview. I'm your host, Joe, and next to me is Alistair Middleton. Hello, Alistair.
Hello, Joe.
So, President's Cup. This year, 999 will try to make 3 consecutive wins at this contest. And what do you think?
Well, he was a very easy winner in 2015, 2016. I think he faces his toughest test yet this time around. Well,
making 3 consecutive wins, this isn't so unprecedented because we have a horse called 당대불패 who actually made 3 wins in a row through 2010 through 2012, right?
That's right. 당대불패, very, very good horse. Obviously won this race 3 times, as you said. He won 19 of his 32 starts in total, including 10 stakes races. 999 looks to emulate his achievement this Sunday, but it's going to be very difficult for him.
Right. This year we have Powerblade, who is going to be the rival. So 999, can he do it? Well, first of all, let's have a look at the field. Okay, there are just 9 runners, but last year's top 3 all return once more. 999, Powerblade, and Success Story.
Right, and 7 of the 9 are from Busan, with Seoul fielding only 2 this time around. Those 2 being Korean Derby winner Final Boss and Sodong Shide, who actually managed to finish 4th in this race in 2015.
Well, all eyes are really on Powerblade and 999, but we'll have a talk about this last runner from Seoul, Final Boss. So from the top, let's have a look at these 2, Powerblade and 999. Okay, starting off with 999's recent performance in a really difficult race.
Yeah, well,
this is Korea Cup last September.
This was the Korea Cup, obviously the toughest race that any Korean horse can take part in Korea. It was always going to be very, very hard for him, and just like they did last year, the Japanese horses really dominated the race, coming home 1st and 2nd. 999 did okay. He was 3rd last year, 4th this time. He got into gear late on. He did finish off nicely. A little bit disappointing. He couldn't quite catch the American Raider, Papa Shot, who came home in 3rd, but still a strong performance. The best Korean horse home.
Okay, there now.
Finally crossing the line.
4th in this contest. And now we're on to Powerblade, and his recent performance was really difficult as well. This was Korea Sprint, but a solid performance for him.
Right, I mean, this was the same day. It was a very, very good run from Powerblade, and with a little bit more of a favourable draw. He was drawn quite wide. He might even have won it. He finished very, very strongly, got up to within 2 lengths of the Japanese winner. Obviously, it's a totally different kind of race this time around, but he really showed his class and how much he has come on as a racehorse, did Powerblade in the Korea Sprint. Really, really strong performance it was.
Wow, it was a good, solid performance. And now, who really has the edge?
That's a very good question. I think at this stage, Powerblade is probably the better horse. Certainly since the pair of them came back from Dubai, Powerblade has really, really pushed on.
Right.
Obviously, at this distance, there is still perhaps a chance of 999. He's very slow getting into his top gear, but once he does, he goes very, very well. So maybe at the distance, there could be some chances for 999. But Powerblade, he's certainly proven at this distance as well. He was 3rd in a Group 3 in Dubai earlier this year at 1900 metres. Obviously, he came 2nd at this distance last year in this race. But at the moment, I think Powerblade has the edge.
Right. Okay, now let's have a look at 2 races where they raced against each other. This is Owners' Cup, August 13th, over 1,600 meters. They 2 were racing together at this race.
They did, and the previous month, actually, 999 went just a little bit too wide and left things a little bit too late in the Busan Mayor's Cup as well. He did the same in this race as well, over a mile, whereas Powerblade took a much more direct route.
Now.
Here you can see 999 again coming through late.
Gaining some speed at passing by the Forlong Pole here and on, just closing.
That's right, but just getting there a little bit too late, and Powerblade had enough in the tank to get home.
Okay, we're looking at 국제신문 Cup, October 1st, over 1,400 meters. This rather Powerblade took the field, didn't he?
Yeah, I think at 1,400 metres it was never really going to be in doubt that day. Success Story, who also goes in this race, led the race once more, but he faded. He left it clear for Powerblade to come through. Again, 999 finished off very nice, but he never looked a winner. Of course, this time around he's got an extra 3 furlongs to play with.
Okay, so what about the rest? Final Boss, he is a standout talent among the 3-year-olds, but he has ups and downs.
Yeah, I mean, Final Boss, he has had a very interesting year. He was champion juvenile last year. He was favourite going into the Triple Crown Trail this time around.
Right.
Didn't really come off for him in the first leg of the Triple Crown. He then got an absolutely dreadful trip in the Korean Derby in May, but he ended up winning it. He came really wide. He was halfway up the grandstand when he won it. But win it he did. He then could only manage 5th in the final leg of the Triple Crown, but then he seemed to come back to form later on this summer.
Okay, in hoping to have the best form, let's have a look at Final Boss's recent race. Okay, August 13th at a Class 1 where he was feeling great, I guess.
Right. He certainly returned to form here. He was back at the Derby distance of 1,800 metres. This time he was taken close to the lead early, which was a little bit different to what happened in some of his previous races, and he stayed there running on to win by a really, really easy 5 lengths. He then got put in a 1,200 metre race last month, which was a little bit too short for him. He came home in 4th place, so I don't think we can read too much into that. He is the wild cards here. He is very talented. Is he on the level of Powerblade and 999 just yet? I think that's a different question.
Right. We've just looked at all 3 prime contenders. Are there any others worth mentioning?
I think the others are all going to need to show us something that they haven't yet proven they can do. Obviously, Success Story is going to be there. He took part last year. He led last year. He's only won 1 race this year when everything went right for him. It's going to be very, very difficult for him here. Again, it's hard to see him beating any of the favourites.
Right, but we cannot rule out Taeho Shide, who actually placed third at PresidentsCup before Final Boss.
Taeho Shide, yes, certainly did beat Final Boss. Final Boss obviously wasn't that great that day, but Taeho Shide is one who does need respect. I mean, all of the horses who've actually qualified to run in this race do deserve some respect. However, they're all going to have to go some to beat the favourites, 999 and especially Powerblade.
Okay, the 14th PresidentsCup. Will 999 be able to defend his title to make 3rd consecutive win? For the best Korean-bred title, here, stay tuned at KRBC.